Colleagues, welcome to this webinar. This is part of the MCR 2030, and this is to explain and to demonstrate how to access services and tools from a large number of partners. We have more than 157 partners right now. And they are all offering various kinds of tools and services. So today we just wanted to show you how to do that, and we also wanted to show to those who are offering services how they can display them and how they can connect with cities. So it's for both the cities and the local governments who are part of the MCR 2030, and also for the and also for the service providers, those who are providing the services. So so with that, I think we should just not wait anymore and get straight to it. So I hand over to Mai to show you and demonstrate how to avail of all the services that the MCR 2030 provides. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjaya. Thank you, Sanjaya. I think just perhaps like additional information that I would like to share with all of the participants is that the session will be interpreted in Arabic, French, Portuguese, and Spanish. So you look out for the globe icon at the bottom of the screen to select the language of your choice. And the session will be a concise 1 hour. And if you have questions, we welcome questions from all of you. Just drop your questions in the Q&A box, and we'll be moderating the question and answering any questions you may have during the sessions today. And well, perhaps not too late for me to also greet you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Mai, Program Officer and also part of the Global Secretariat of the Making City Resilient 2030. I'll be happy to walk you through this so-called MCR 2030 Dashboard, which is one of the tools that we are offering for the MCR 2030 cities and participating entities. So without further ado, let me screen share again my presentation. I will be doing first the rough PowerPoint presentation on the dashboard, and then I will be spending more minutes in showing you the real life demonstration of the dashboard itself. So hold on a second while I'm trying to share my screen, please. Here we go. I hope that you can see it clearly. So today's session will fully about the MCR 2030 dashboard. It actually targets the cities and local governments and also participating entities that have already joined the MCR 2030. So I will not speak much on how you can join the MCR 2030 and access the dashboard, but we'll go right into the functionality and the functions that you can access from the dashboard itself. You may wonder what the dashboard is. It's actually the closed online platform that MCR 2030 is offering to the participating cities and the participating entities, and in which the cities can also use to record and monitor that progress against the resilience roadmap. It's also a marketplace, a registry of many of the service knowledge toolkits available by the entities that have the expertise that can support cities along this resilience roadmap. City will be able to also share insights and be able to demonstrate progress and move from stage A to B and B to C on the resilience roadmap. When we are saying join MCR 2030, it equally means that you have the direct access to this online dashboard, which you can also directly log in with this URL at the bottom of the screen here. Who can then access this dashboard? As I mentioned, it's open for both the city or local governments, as well as the entities that have joined MCR 2030. And by calling cities, we actually refer to all of the subnational local government units. So it could be cities, municipalities, town, village, district, province, canton, states, or whichever that you can name within your country's structure. On the other hand, participating entities are actually another name that we used to call partners. And these are the organizations that have the knowledge and expertise that can support cities along the resilience roadmap, which could be national governments, National Association of Municipalities, can be development agencies, can be NGOs, CSO, academic institutions, private sectors, UN entities, or any other network that have the legal establishment in your country. Participating entities, there are several types of the entities I would like to highlight here. Three main types of the participating entities are first, the core partners, who are the co-curator and co-delivery of the Making City Resilient 2030 initiative, which are the agencies that you see the logos up on the screen. The second categories are the non-commercial entities that have the expertise that can provide the gratis, free of charge services for the local governments. This could be national government, academia, CSO, NGOs, foundations, etc. And the last group are the group that we don't normally see yet involved in supporting local governments in risk reduction and resilience. And we would very much like to welcome their participation in this MCR 2030, which are the private sectors and those who have the technical expertise that cities may need to pay fees to access. But there are the large group of partner entities that could help the cities to move into the next level in infrastructure resilience in many of the technical and technical areas, right? So now you may wonder what you can now do on the dashboard after you access. This table gives you a bit of the glimpse of the overview of different functions available on the dashboard. It's actually separated by two types, so cities users and the participating entities. There are the functions that are common to all of the users, for example, in viewing the map, the analytics of the MCR 2030, to view the country page, how many cities and participating entities from each of the countries joining MCR. You can search for the partners services. You can search for the cities, contact the cities, contacting participating entity, as well as the secretariat of the MCR 2030. You also have the ability to add and manage the team members and also report feedback in using the dashboard. Now, there are also functions that are unique to the user type. So for the cities and local governments, you will be able to see the resilience roadmap and your stage. And also we'll have some description and also reminder of the critical milestones that your cities should be completing in order to advance to the next stage of the resilience roadmap. You also will be able to share the insights, experience, and record the progress, and be able to progress and graduate to the next level, next stage of the resilience roadmap. You also will be able to make reference, give the credit to the service and the partners that you have worked with in the MCR 2030. And also you can download the MCR 2030 certificate. If you are the Resilience Hub, you also will have the special access to also adding the services of the Resilience Hub, to submit the Resilience Hub report, and also to download the Resilience Hub certificate. On the other hand, if you are the participating entities, you will not see the resilience roadmap because you are not the one progressing along the roadmap, but you are the one providing the service to the cities. So you'll be able to add your service, identify the expertise you have, and be able to make the reference also to which cities that have used your service to increase your visibility and potential contact with the cities that may be interested in your services. If you are the national government office, particularly those who are in charge of driving the agenda of disaster risk management, urban development, or environment or local government agencies, then you will have the access to a special country page in which you can also download the list of all of the cities joining from your country, and also the contact list that you can also start and initiate a communication with. You can also provide the national government guidance and also the quote for inspirations to the cities in your countries, and be able to use it as the tools to engage with your local governments in the resilience agenda. Now, these are also some of the screenshots that you will see when you access the dashboard. Users can also will see this resilience roadmap on the top right here in the green space. They will also see the space in the card carousel at the bottom here in gray and yellow. In this case, the screenshot is for the city in stage B. So they would be able to also find the help and support and search for specific service that help them to complete the critical milestones and be able to progress to the next stage, which is stage C. They can report the progress and share insights by clicking complete on this carousel cards and share the experience. And this experience will also be visible to other cities and also participating entities that have access to the dashboard. Now, you may wonder also how cities can graduate and be able to progress from stage A to B and B to C. Here is also a snapshot to summarize the critical milestones that I talked about. So in stage A, if you are stage A cities joining the MCR and have the access to the dashboard, you will have the reminder that you have to continue to focusing on raising awareness and understanding about disaster risk reduction. And there are 3 key activities that you should be doing in order to prove that you have the commitment to raise awareness and understanding. One is to conduct the awareness raising event and publicity outside of the government with the public. You also should be conducting an orientation session with the staff and the city council within the government structure, and should also establish a multi-sectoral committee on resilience building. Once you complete these 3 activities and report, share insights on the dashboard will move you automatically then to stage B. You will have then access to different other services that would help you to improve the planning and improve the disaster risk reduction strategy and resilience strategic planning. And you will be required to do 2 activities to complete the critical milestones. One is to make sure that you complete the development of this DRR or resilience strategy and get that planned, endorsed by the government, city council or any governing body of your city and municipality to ensure that it has the legal impact for implementation. Then for stage C cities, you do not need to progress to the next stage, but you need to continue to demonstrate and share experience in how you mainstream and institutionalize DR and resilience strategies across different sectors of the cities. You also should be highlighting and sharing experience in implementing and delivering different activities that you have put on the resilience strategies. You also can demonstrate and highlight the experience in how you developed the pipeline of bank projects and increase access to finance, as well as the experience in sharing your resilience actions, investment, and etc. with the cities of the stage A and B. These are also some of the screenshots that you will see that you can use to search for the partners, participating entities. You can use also the left bar menu to also search for the insights, and I will show you in the next minutes on how you can do it on in the live demonstration of the dashboard. As I mentioned, you can share insight and lesson learned and show the progress to other local governments and also partners. Your insight will be showing on the screen, and any other local government and partners can come and view and learn from your experience. You can also see the city, the country progress. In this case is Brazil. You can also see the total number of the cities joining from Brazil, breaking down in stage A, B, and C. The population covered, the list of the cities that have joined from that country, the insights shared by the municipality or cities in that country, as well as many of the partners based in your countries that have joined MCR 2030 and provide service. If the national governments of your country have joined, You also will be able to see the national government guidance when the national government add the guidance for visibility of the local governments in other countries to access. You can download the certificate of participation. These are the sample of how it looks like. And the dashboard is facilitating the access of more than one team members. So if you're the first one who have already accessed and create the account for your cities or even the participating entities, you can always add more new members to have equal access to the dashboard and be able to benefit, search for the service for the partners, contact them, and also share the experience. So you can spread and divide the task among your team members and maximize the benefits you can have from accessing the dashboard. Now, if you are the participating entities, you will have the options to add the service. And you should be listing the service and publicize your service that can help the cities to progress along the residence roadmap, because the city can search and look for the service that you provide. You can also use the dashboard to tap into searching for the cities that you want to collaborate with. You can also find the good case example from the cities. And I want to cite particularly how UNDR also have been using this. We were organizing several of the regional and global webinars, and we were looking for representation of the cities who may have the experience in that particular field. And we searched through the dashboard, and we were able to name a few of the cities that have that exact experience that we were looking for. And those cities also have been invited as guest speakers to speak at the regional and global events. So we would not be able to access and reach out to these cities without the connection that have been provided on the dashboard, because we never work directly with them. So it's really a good sources of information that the partner agency may want to look out for in case you want to find the cities and municipality for the new collaboration you may want to pursue. There are so many more functions that I would want to highlight when I do the live demonstration. Now, when I talked about listing the service, the importance of not only joining your organization and dashboard is because the cities don't look for you from the name of the organization, but they may look for you from the expertise that you have. So it's very important to increase your visibility and publicity with the cities joining MCR 2030 by listing your service. And the services under the dashboard is classified under the 12 thematic areas of the residence roadmap. This image is summarizing these 12 thematic areas. So in stage A is focusing on the awareness raising. Stage B is focusing on improving risk analysis, diagnostic skills for planning, and the improving of the strategic planning itself. Stage C cities, the thematic area for them are to access the finance, improving critical infrastructure, pursuing the use of the nature-based solution, improving the inclusion, the engagement of non-governmental agencies, and also the vulnerable groups, as well as the importance of integrating the climate risk and the disaster risk reduction to take the systematic risk approach in the way that they plan and implement the risk reduction and resilience strategies. There are also 3 cross-cutting themes that any of the cities can benefit from. One is the national local linkages. So fostering the linkages of local government with state governments and with the national governments. The other part is to create the horizontal engagement with non-governmental actors. And also lastly, in facilitating the city-to-city learning and exchanges. So if you have any particular service that you can classify against these 12 thematic areas, that it will be very, very helpful for you to start populating your services on the dashboard to help the cities increase the access to this knowledge and expertise that you can provide. Now, most of the people joining this sessions have already joined the MCR 2030. So I'm not going to go into details of how you can join and access the dashboard, but we'll give you just a big glimpse on how to join for the people who may be interested to join after the completion of this webinar. One, for the local governments, there are 4 simple steps that you should take. One is to take the stage assessment to identify whether you are stage A, B, and C on the resilience roadmap, and prepare a letter of commitment and get that ready to be uploaded when you sign up to the dashboard. Now, this stage assessment is very simple. There are only 2 or 3 questions that you need to complete, and you can access it and look into more details and the link on how to get that from this particular link that I'm showing on the slide. Then once you know the stage and already have the letter of commitment, you have to create the prevention web account. If you're familiar with the prevention web account, it's the web portal that UNDR is using to connect and promote also the access to different resources of the risk reduction field. And it can be used to access many other portals that UNDR is managing, including the Sendai Framework Monitor, the voluntary commitment, the prevention web itself, and many, many more. And once you create that login account from the prevention web, you are ready to create the dashboard account via the dashboard, MCR2030 Dashboard.undr.org. Then once you are in there, you just have to complete the city details profile. The sign-up steps are pretty similar to the participating entity, except that you would not need to do the stage assessment. You can come right into creating the prevention web account, then move on to creating that dashboard account, then start to populating the detailed profile and begin to list your service. There are also useful information that you can browse through to see more in details after as a follow-up from this webinar. You can note this website, and Linda, if you could drop the website, the URL here in the chat box for the participant, that will be very helpful, and thank you. The dashboard guides are divided into 3 types. So one dashboard guides for local governments, one is for participating entities, and one is for the national government. And you will find many details exactly of what we are going to be talking in the next half an hour in this webinar as well. Additional to this resource, not directly to how to use the dashboard, but if you access the dashboard, and you will see a lot of graphs, a lot of statistics, a lot of maps that give you also the nuance of how many cities have joined the MCR 2030, from how many countries and what stages there are, the size of population, if you want to see the stats of the breakdown in the region, and etc. We also have provided the so-called widgets of this MCR 2030 analytics on this website, mcr2030.undr.org/openmcr. And if you are interested to embed these similar maps, the statistics of the number of MCR 2030 on your website or social media, please feel free to just log into this website, and it will give the instruction on how you can embed the code on your website and ensure that the maps and statistics are appearing on your website and social media. So that will be it for the part that I would want to highlight to you from the presentation before I move on to the demonstration. And just noting before I move on to the demonstration that these are the email addresses of the MCR 2030 secretariats globally and also in your regions. So please feel free to contact them, any of us, in case you have questions or require any support at any point of your joining the MCR 2030. So thank you for this, and allow me to stop sharing the screen before I move on to sharing a different screen on the demonstration. And maybe just, could I also ask perhaps if Sanjaya may want to come in before I move on to the next session?
Well, there's one question. Can participating entities also receive a certificate? That is the question.
Yes, we unfortunately don't have yet the certificate for the participating entities in the dashboard. So only the cities will be able to access. Yeah.
So in any case, participating entities can access the dashboard, but the whole idea is not to give certificates. The idea is to create this marketplace where you as a service provider, and somebody has also asked, is private sector allowed to join? So private sector is very much allowed to join and most welcome. And you can, when you do the registration process, it's a very simple process. But when you do it, you will see that you also have the option of stating that you may require fees for your services. So that is fine. And then you will get some space where you can actually either say, contact us for further information, or this is the kind of fees we charge, or this is the criteria that we require for local governments before we can provide them services and things like that. So you will have a lot of flexibility. And the idea is the cities get a certificate because they have made a commitment to increase their resilience, and the certificate is just an acknowledgement of that commitment. The commitment is made by the mayor. And for the participating entities, there is no requirement for a certificate, because the whole idea is that cities, when I say cities, local governments, as Maya has already explained. So local governments and participating entities should be able to interact with each other. They should be able to exchange information with each other, and the participating entities, or service providers as we call them, they are able to offer their services, whether fee-based or not, to the cities and local governments. So what MCR 2030 is doing is providing this facility where you can meet and you can interact with each other. Over.
Yes, thank you, Sanjaya. So maybe I go first to demonstrating about the dashboard from the local government access. And maybe if there are any questions about this particular local government dashboard, then we can take some questions before I move on to the one for participating entities. So let me allow me to organize some of my screen. Can you see my screen okay? Right, are you seeing my, hold on a second, let me.
Not yet. No,
Here.
yes.
Okay, so here I'm using a dummy address of a person called Emma Johnson. So I'm being Emma Johnson at the moment, creating the dashboard for the municipality ABC, locating in Uganda, Africa. And if you have joined, and please feel free also to perhaps log in the dashboard with your account and follow the instruction I'm showing you on screen, in case you want to have the live simultaneous experience in accessing the dashboard. So here, once you log into the dashboard, you'll be landing at this landing page of the dashboard itself. And here on the top, it will show the state progress. Here, municipality ABC of my city is in stage A. You also will be seeing the statistics of how many cities have already joined MCR 2030, how many cities are in stage A, similar to my city, and also how many population have been covered under this MCR 2030 cities. Right? If you hover over this number, you will see that some of the numbers are bold up. So if they are bold up, you can actually click to see the breakdowns of the details. So this will bring you to the page that contain all of the 612 cities that we're showing on the statistics. If you want to go back to the dashboard landing page, just click the top left hand corner here, and you will come back to the landing page. Now, if you move down, you also will be seeing the map showing the cities that have joined MCR 2030 in the previous timeline. You can click play to see also how the cities have been growing. The network of MCR 2030 cities have been growing over time. You can also slice and dice at the top right to view only the cities in the stage that you are interested in. So in this case, I'm choosing stage A. click play, you also will see the movement and the growth of the cities joining MCR 2030 in stage A. If you hover the mouse over the circle, you also will see the quick statistics of that particular country. So in this case, Brazil has how many people here covered by the MCR 2030s and how many cities are being joined, broken down by different stages. You can also zoom in and zoom out of the map as you wish. If you move down, you also see the section on choosing regions and select countries. This is a shortcut for you to see the country page. So let's say I would like to sneak peek to see how Brazil is doing. So I click Americas in the Caribbean and also select Brazil as the country and select see progress. You will now be brought to a country page of Brazil that has a summary showing that Brazil is part of South America. And so far there are 189 cities from Brazil joining MCR 2030 and 11 organizations based in Brazil also have joined. You also see some stats of the movement of the numbers in the previous 1 month. You also will see the list of the cities in that country that have joined, including also this label, the tag of the stages that these cities are at. You also will be able to see the latest progress insight that has been shared by the cities in this country. You also will see a section on national government offices. So in this case, in Brazil, the secretariat on the national secretariat on the civil defense of Brazil also have joined and start engaging with the local governments in Brazil in MCR 2030. You also can see the overview of the participating entities and services available by the entities based in Brazil, and also the entity may not be based in Brazil, but also offering the service to cities in Brazil. Okay, sorry. Then you can always come back to the landing page. Now going down, this section is very important to the cities. As this city, the mock-up city I'm showing you is in stage A. The city is now seeing the resilience roadmap here in green and highlighting also the thematic areas that stage A city should focus on. So in my case, in these cities, I should be focusing on raising awareness and also considering the cross-cutting thematic areas in strengthening the linkage with the national government, with the horizontal linkage with other city structure and also between cities. It also gives the reminders description on what stage A cities is. And if you would like to learn a little bit more to understand what it means, that what you should be doing, then you can also click orientation to stage A. That will take you back to the MCR 2030 website and the explanation about stage A with some examples of the tools and knowledge products that you can actually access and be able to benefit. Also, there is the button that you could use to complete your city profile. And also, very importantly, a link to see how to use the dashboard in case you forget how to use some functions. So in the dashboard guides page, as I said, that is broken down into the section for local governments, for participating entities, and for national governments. Click local governments. You also will see a series of the step-by-step guided, in which I'm already explaining now, but you can always come back to refer to. So on how to join, the overview of the landing page of the local government's dashboard, how you can manage and add team members, how you download the certificate, how to search the service, and also share the insights. Also more guides on the Resilience Hub. And this is also similar to the participating entities as well as the national government. So let's come back to the dashboard now. So below this, you will see the carousel, as I mentioned, that would highlight the critical milestones of your stage, city stage. So here I'm in stage A. I have 3 critical milestones I should be completing: conducting awareness with the public, conducting the orientation session with the city council, and within the government structure, and also establish the multi-sectoral committee. Now, if I wonder what I can do, what should I do in order to complete this milestone, there is the help button. If I can enlarge here, the help button that you can actually click and also see help in establishing a multi-sectoral committee on residence building. It will also highlight the insights shared from other cities in completing these particular milestones. So we have some already information from some of the cities in different regions showing here. If your national government already have provided some guidance for you to complete the steps, that guidance will be showing here. There are also a shortcut to some of the services available that you can also use to complete these steps from the partners. You can also always browse other steps from this page. Okay. If you have completed these activities, now it's time for you to share the insight and demonstrate the completion and progress on this of critical milestone. What you have to do is click complete here. Then it will take you to the page to complete the insights for that particular milestones. You'll be asked to provide some information on how what you did to complete these steps. You can provide it first in English and then in your local languages, in case that can also help the cities in your countries to understand what you have done. There are also sections that you can highlight the benefits that you feel that you have gained from completing these activities, these actions, again, in English and in local language. There's also a section that you can add the challenges that you face in completing these steps and how you can overcome it in English and also in your local languages. You also will be able to make the citation on the services from the MCR2030 participating entities and the service provided on the dashboard that may help you to complete these steps. For example, if you use some orientation trainings session of these partners, you can also make the reference and citation. And so this will also appear on the services listing that your city has been using this service, which give also additional credentials to that particular service to other peer cities, and also enhance the visibility of the partners that you have worked with. If the resources that you use is not available, is not yet available on the dashboard, you can just simply type it out. You can also tag the insights that this particularly, the insight and experience you share is matching which thematic areas of the MCR2030. So in this case, it's awareness raising. You can also filter in the type of hazards you are focusing in. If not, then you can also say no specific hazard, but you cover the multi-hazard approach. You will be requested also to add the reference materials to affirm that you did complete these activities. It can be the news piece, it can be the report, it can be the government issues or any documents that you can provide as a proof that you have completed that particular activities. And you can add the title of these reference materials, add the link to these reference materials, or you can upload that file on this page. You can set then the privacy setting, if you want to show your city names on this insight, or you want to hide the city name. I would encourage you to make your city name visible, because it also promotes your visibility and accomplishment and achievement with other cities and the network of the MCR2030. Then once you complete this, just mark the step as complete. Then you will get the notification saying that you have completed the steps. Please continue to make sure that complete other steps and continue to move on the residence roadmap. If that particular milestone has been reported completed, you will see the check marks on this completed button instead of the simple completed complete button here. So you can see this one, I'm a stage A cities. Out of the 3 critical milestones, I already completed one in making the orientation workshop with the staff and city council. I still am due to conduct the awareness raising event with public, and also in establishing the multi-sectoral committee on residence building. Once I completed all, then the system will mark your movement from A, and you will unlock stage B on the residence roadmap bar at the top. You also unlock the services for stage B, and also will see many more services for stage B. And then also the milestone will be shifted for you to look at the stage B here, thematic areas, and also complete the milestone at the bottom. And you can continue to do so until you complete all sharing of the experience and insights for all the stages you progress along the roadmap. Then at the bottom, you will be able to see also the partners and services available. Although I will skip this bottom part, but I will be showing you more on how to access that more directly on the left menu bar. So the top left-hand corner of the menu bar is the dashboard button that brings you to the landing page of the dashboard. The second section is on searching for the service for local governments. So you will see here that I'm at stage A cities. I can click to search for the services available for stage A. This is a whole list of all the services available by participating entities. You also may see that some of the service might not match your geographic location. In this case, my municipality is located in Uganda in Africa. So for example, this service on the territorial workshops from this participating entity offering only to Europe and Central Asia will not match my cities, because they're not offering the cities the service to cities in Uganda. So what you can do is scroll back up to the page, click on show filters, and you will be able to search and filter these services in any way that you would want to. Firstly, by type of organization, private sector, UN agencies, academias, government, network, etc., etc., etc. You can also choose to see only the free service or the fee-based service, or the service that you need to pay for the service, right? You also can search the service by type. You're looking for someone to help you to write and conduct the research and analysis and write the report. Are you looking for an opportunity to participating in some of the regional or global events? Are you looking for some free tools, free guidance, interactive website, and anything you can access without interaction with any others? Are you looking for training and education, grant and loan, technical assistance, consulting service, and etc.? You can also filter the service available only in my country. So in this case, Africa, in Uganda. Here. Let me try this one. I want to look for the awareness raising support in terms of training and education, and the services available for my cities, which is based in Uganda. I filtered this, apply the filters. Now there are 6 results. So it slices and dice only the service that I can have access to. So let's take a look. There are also services available at UCLG, Climate Bonds Initiative, universities, UN agency, etc. So let's try to click one. Let's try the first one. Online course on fundamentals of residence governance. This one is provided by UCLG, which is the core partner of the MCR 2030. It has some description in both English and Spanish. It also says here the course is available in English, French, and Spanish. Service is freely available. You can access it right away. It's a training and education. There is also a section to help you to see the overlap of this service and your city. So my city is looking for awareness raising, enabling national local linkage, horizontal linkage, and city-to-city learning. But this particular service has been specified that is only helping with the awareness raising and the enabling national local linkage. So you see the check mark in the front. that will help you to also see how much matching this service is with your city. It also shows particular steps of this service, that this service is helping the cities. So in this case, I have 3 critical milestones to complete. This 3 conducting awareness, orientation workshop, and multi-sectoral committee. This particular service is actually helping me for the orientation workshop part. So if I'm actually looking for the support for conducting training to enhance this workshop, orientation workshop with the staff and city council, I may be able to access the service. Now look at the pink section. It will give you, if you are interested in this service, is there any pre-requirement that you need to do in order to access the service? So the participating entity has already identified here that the course is available online and any cities can access without prior requirements, meaning that I can just go ahead and access it. And you can click here to go right to the training course that UCLG is providing. And it's available for free. You can register to the training and also benefits right away from the training available from these participating entities. Now, you also have an option to contact the participating entities by clicking the email contact form, and you can write the email and approach UCLG if you are interested to further collaborate with them on anything. You also can click the button here to go see the UCLG page, the description of UCLG on MCR 2030. It again shows like how overlap the entity is with your entity and many other things that the organization is doing. You can email to connect, visit the website, and you can also view many other services available from this entity. You can see that UCLG is not only offering service for stage A cities, but it also has something for stage B and stage C. Some may be fee-based, some may be free. And so this will actually help you to increase access to utilizing many of this useful service free of charge at your convenience and just by clicking and browsing through the dashboard itself. Similarly, from searching the service, you can also search participating entities by all. You again can use the filter options to slice and dice and find the partners of your choice. You also can click to see the partners that is locating in your country. So here, these are the ones that are providing services to my country, not locating in the country. But you can also click here to see if you want to only see the participating entity locating in your country. So it will be in closer proximity for you to create collaboration. Now, similarly to searching for the participating entities and service, you can also browse through to see other cities joining MCR 2030. So currently we have 612 cities. You can use the filter to browse by the population, the capital cities, the area of the thematic focus, the steps, the critical milestone that they want to focus on. You can also slice and dice by the region. And once you click the region, the country drop down will also pop up, and you can also slice and dice by the country. And again, once you, if you're interested to get connected with any cities, there are also the city description, also showing the thematic area and steps that the city is focusing on. There is also the option for you to send the email to the city. And so you can directly contact the city without any intermediary, and can also visit the website to learn more about the cities. Some cities are also residence hub, and there are 6 of them at the moment. And later on, continuing from now on, the residence hub will also be providing the service to the cities in the MCR 2030 networks. So you can always come back and browse and see of the services available by these cities, residence hub cities. Last part for the local government's dashboard are basically manage your city profile and manage team. So if you click the city basics, this is the place where you download the certificate of participation. You also have the option if you want to show the state name in the certificate of participation. Once you click, let's say here is how the certificate will look. And you have direct access to download that on your own. You can also, change any of the information, details, information about the city description. And I do recommend that all of the cities should fill in this city description because it helps participating entities to search for you and know what you're actually focusing on and know what kind of needs that you're looking for. And that will help you to also get in touch with the partners more easily. You can also manage your own insights. So in this case, I've already shared one insight on completing one milestone. I can always edit anything that has a pencil icon. And then lastly is to add the team members on the left side. So here in this case, I'm Municipality ABC. I'm the only person managing the dashboard of my cities. If I want to pull in my colleagues sitting next to me, I just type their email address here and assign their role and permission. Administrators are actually, the one that have access to all of the dashboard functions and can also add and delete and manage team members. The other type of user roles is users. You have also access to all of the dashboard functions, but you cannot add or remove or manage your team members. So those are the only small distinction between these two roles of the user type. And you can simply just click invite team members, and team members will need to activate the Prevention Web account and then log into the dashboard and be able to access exactly what I'm showing you here on the screen. So that's the part for the local governments. And for the participating entities, you have pretty much the same access to the left side, except for one part on adding the service that if I have time, I also want to show to you. But before I go to that, can I pass over back to Sanjaya in case there is any questions, particularly to the local government's dashboard? Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Mai. There is one question: how can a municipality directly communicate with another municipality?
Yes, so that's exactly what I say, that you just browse through to the cities, you search for the cities that you want to connect with. You just click their card, you see the description of the cities, and at the bottom, there is the contact us, the send email to the city form. You just click this and just write your email content, headers, content, and click send message to the cities. This will automatically send your message to the cities and you can start to collaborate with them.
Thanks. Now, there is a question from Amadora saying that they are already a stage C city. So they want to know how they can go further in their progress bar.
Yes, so as I said that the bar is only stage A, B, and C, and then resilience hub. So for all the stage C cities, what you will need to focus on is basically continue to share the experience on this, what color is this? Yellow, sorry, yellow colors card, and share the experience. And if you would like to upgrade yourself and to be a more active service provider and share more active experience with other cities, then we encourage you to apply as the Resilience Hub, as many other cities in Europe also have already been recognized. And in that way, then aside from sharing direct experience here, you will be able to add the service that Amadora has for other cities and be able to report also the progress of how you actually have stepped up from the recipient of the service to becoming the service provider also to the other cities in the MCR2030 network.
And if I may add to that, just also the stage cities can keep keep on and continue innovating and challenging themselves and using different kinds of tools and all the time working to increase the resilience, because we can never say that we are fully resilient today and it's done. The journey continues. There are new challenges, the new vulnerabilities keep coming up. So we need to continuously work on the resilience. And so stage C cities are expected to maintain their status and to keep improving all the time. So yeah, so okay, back to you.
Okay, thank you. So now I'm switching the dashboard to the dashboard of the participating entities. In this case, I'm just using our Office UNDR Getty, who is also participating in MCR 2030 as the core partners. This is the sample of what the participating entities will see on the screen. So you basically will see similar statistics, but because we are based in Incheon in Korea, I will also see the other partners that have joined to support cities in the same region as I am, and also the cities that are located in the same region that my office is located. I will also see the maps, be able to browse the city progress. And here, the button that you have here will be different. So here, there's a button that you can add the service, which I'll talk in a few seconds. You also have the button here, the box here that you can email to invite other local governments to join MCR 2030. You also have the options to download the welcome package, which also contains some social media images that you can also use to promote your engagement with MCR 2030. There are also some statistics on the cities and other partners and etc. So now let's take a look at the importance of the part on adding service. So there's also the left portion on adding and editing the service that is different from the city dashboard. So once you click the service here, basically you just have to list the name of the service, provide a description of what the service is about, classified what type of service it is, whether it's a self-service tool, event organizations, etc. And whether it's fee-based or will require some fee. If city needs to pay fee, can you provide a rough daily estimates that the city will have to pay to access your service? Which city stage that your service is matching. So in this service, you can only select one stage at a time. But if your service is actually applicable to multiple stages cities, then you can actually duplicate the same service and reselect the stages to make sure that the same service appear to both stage A, B, and also the stage C. You can also identify more concretely. Now here, if I'm supporting stage B, it will also ask particularly which milestone that this service can help the city with. You can also choose the thematic areas and etc. Now you can also identify the service location, whether your service is globally covered, or if it's not globally covered, you can also select the region. Africa, you can also select if it's available to all cities in Africa or some cities in Africa. So let's say Benin, Botswana, etc. If the service is available to more than one region, you can also continue to select other regions you can provide the service to, and continue to identify, okay, service for all North American, but in Asia, I only service Bangladesh and Afghanistan. In Central Asia, yes, I do provide all service. So this gives the flexibility for participating entities to slice and dice and identify very granularly which target groups you want to have access to this particular service that you're providing. Right? And you can also provide the contact information. This is the default email of my team that we use to access the dashboard, or you can also add any other email address of your secondary colleagues who may be the point of contact for this service. It's very important also that you put in the concrete requirement, whether the city needs to perhaps like fulfill A, B, and C before they access your service. For example, if you are providing the service on increasing finance, maybe the prerequisite is that the city needs to have the evidence-based plans, the actions plans on what they need to do in order to access your service to support in developing the bank project, etc. So all of this information will be also, you can also upload the files relevant to introducing your service and click public service. And the more information you can provide in the details of this service listing, the more helpful it will be for the cities to be able to get in touch with you, and for you also to make sure that can be reached out by the cities that is of your target. So this is the only critical difference that the participating entity will see from the dashboard. One more slight difference that you also will see is this reference part. This reference part is actually the section that any participating entities can add the reference of which cities that have used your service. So you can continue to add another reference, select the country, the states and the cities you have worked with. You can also cite the city department you have worked with. And in this way, when someone views your profile, it will also show your description, the area of interest, and also the list of reference of the cities that you have worked with. So this will also increase the credential of the service of your entity and also the service that you're providing. If you scroll at the bottoms of the service, the participating entity page, you also will see different services that participating entity is providing. You see the icon, pencil means edit, I means hidden, and these two rectangles mean duplicate. So if I want to, let's say, duplicate this particular service for stage C cities, I just click duplicate and I just change from stage B to stage C and then click save. And so in that way, it gives you a faster way to add the service to the listing and be able to enhance your connection with the cities. So that would be it for the demonstration on the participating entity page. And so again, let me pass it back to Sanjaya in case that there is any questions pending this demonstration.
Okay, so there is one question. It goes into the fundamentals. So what is the difference between stage A, B, and C? Can you give an example? So I can answer this. So stage A city is one which is new to the concept of risk reduction, resilience, and the services that they are seeking are more on awareness raising, orientation, and so on. Now, once that is done, they move to the stage B. The stage B is the stage where they want to use diagnostic tools to find out what is their status in resilience, what are the gaps, how far they have to reach, what actions they need to take. So to understand, to analyze better their situation, and then come up with a what we call a resilience strategy or a DRR strategy. And then once they have the DRR strategy, they move to stage C. And at stage C, basically, they are busy in implementing all the actions that they wanted to take under that strategy. So the service providers also, when they register, they decide whether they want to provide the services to a stage A city or a B city or a C city or all three or any two. So they have the option. So what it means is that depending on which stage you are, the offers that you can see on the dashboard will be different. They will be tailored to that stage in which you are. So thanks, Mai. There are no more questions in the Q&A. Yes, and we had over 130 participants from all over the world, so that was very good. I just wanted to announce to everyone that very soon these how-to guides will also be available in Spanish, Arabic, French, Russian, and Chinese. And then we will try to get some other languages also later. And secondly, of course, you have seen the link many times shared to you by Linda. but who's doing all the behind the scenes work. In that link, you will be able to see this video also. So you can refer to this recording or recording of this session later. And please feel free to share it and use this information with other either local governments or cities which may be interested, but also with partners, participating entities, service providers. It could be universities, it could be research organizations, it could be consultancies, it could be private sector groups, it could also be governments or government of agencies, and it could also be cities, because cities are also providing services to other cities. Okay, so let me just check once more chat. Yes, okay, there's nothing more. So with that, I think we can end this session. So thanks again, Mai and Linda, and thank you all the participants.
Thanks all, and have a nice evening and nice day where you are. Bye.